behind the scenes.
That's
Kind
cute.
of filming it and shooting.
That's awesome.
Hi everyone.
Hey, how are you?
Good, thank you. Everyone's got those now.
Yeah.
Whatever.
It's not a taser.
Yeah, it's like very Ghostbusters or something.
So the end of last season was very mysterious, very confusing. Can you give us
Everyone's
some
like,
teasers?
yeah, everyone wants to know like how much exactly to the day, how much time.
Yeah, the hours.
I can't tell you like exactly what we're doing, but here's kind of what we were thinking is the show's been so successful going back in these flashbacks,
Yeah.
1800s, year 1000. It's so fun to write for. It's fun to see characters, their backstories. And then we were thinking, season 7, we gotta come out a little splashier. So what if we play with time a little bit and just glimpse into the future? And you really kind of keep the audience guessing, keep like you build a new mystery on top of the present day story. And so our hope is that as you're watching this mysterious pops, splashes, you're like, how did that happen? I don't understand. What is that? Why are they showing us that? You're watching the present day story and you're like, oh, I'm piecing the puzzle together slowly but surely. And fans, because we realize if you are a fan of the show, you watch every single episode.
Oh, yeah.
You then you
Multiple
rewatch it, you
times.
talk to your friends about it, blah, blah. It's not like you get the show, it's either you watch it or you don't watch it.
Yeah.
And so the fans are so engaged, they know so much more about the show than we do, that we're like, let's just like let them participate a little bit more. And so we thought this idea of like little flashes would be fun.
So it's not all consistently in the future.
No. Yeah.
So how dark is it going to get? Because we keep on hearing it's going to be darker, how unhinged some of the characters are going to be.
It's gonna get dark. Well, you saw how crappy Mystic Falls looked at the end of the season.
Yeah.
So the way that happens, I think, will surprise you. But that's kind of going to be the world that we live in for a little while. So just aesthetically, visually, it's not like a happy place to be in. So sort of like squalor. And so just the tone of the show will automatically feel darker. These heretics are just badass. And they're scary. And we wanted to create villains. In the show, it's hard to think of a new villain every season.
Yeah.
That's like more scarier than the last villain. And so, so we brought in 6 of them. We're like, then just make more of them. No, but they're super scary. They can do magic. They're vampires. So, but the thing is, the show will be dark. But the reason I want to keep working on Vampire Diaries, the reason I love writing on it, is there's levity in it. Like, people still make jokes. They still go to dances. They still go to college parties. There's still the flair and like the wit and the irreverence in the show. And so it's dark, but it's not like we're totally changing the entire show. Maybe call it more adult.
We just talked to Ian, and he had said, that this could potentially be the last season. So going into it, is that part of the thought process at all about, are you starting to think in terms of how to wrap things up, or do you even?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want it to be the last season. There's so many stars that need to align for it to either be the last season or to continue to go. So we're kind of assuming that it's not the last season in the writer's room, and just, waiting for the logistics to fall into place. But we have a game plan either way. Sometimes it helps, like us knowing, for example, that Nino's leaving so early in the season last year really did help when you have parameters as a writer, when you have 22 sprawling episodes. Just for somebody to say, this has to happen at some point, she's leaving, it really helps you, gives you something to write for. Which when the sky's the limit, it's nice to have some sort of, somebody saying no or yes.
How was the challenge writing this new season without Nina, without that aspect, and kind of bringing it into kind of like a new realm? It's now going to be, I feel like it's going to be more about family than it is about romance now, much into the originals.
Yeah.
So was that a challenge?
Honestly, yes, because I personally, as a fan, don't want it to not be about romance. Because when I watch TV, I watch for the kissing scene.
Yeah.
I don't even have to kiss. They just all just look at each other.
Right.
So I am a big advocate of let's keep relationships, let's keep in all of these, let's create new love stories. Let's just build love stories, because family is always interesting, but it just doesn't have that sexiness to it, So, and so when writing without her, it is weird because it hasn't actually been a challenge as much as I thought it would be, because my mind got used to the idea over the last season, and also we have so many like new characters, or like we can build the Enzo stories up more. We can have more spotlight on Caroline, more Bonnie, more Matt. You know, like the characters that we know. There's just more room for them, and you don't have Matt in like 3 little scenes anymore. You can have time to like.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So, you know, and also sometimes with Elena, that she gets so intertwined with the mythology, and so sometimes when you take that away, you have mythology doesn't get as complicated, you know. But I mean, obviously, I miss being around her, but I didn't. It wasn't quite the void that I thought it was going to be.
Well, speaking of relationships, I got to ask you about Steroline. Where's that going? Where do they stand at this point? Where are they going?
Because he left her, he kissed her on the cheek and said, "I'll wait for you."
Right.
So now we catch up to them, and it's that fun, like what do we have? Like it's they play into the awkwardness of it, and it's like, okay, where are we? Like, are we friends? We both like each other? It's obvious. So the audience is kind of waiting for Caroline to be like, hey. Stefan, like he's so hot, he's so nice, he's so gentle, like he's a perfect boyfriend material, like figure it out. So ultimately we're going to be rooting for them. They're going to be the real like spine love story of the season. Obviously tons of obstacles will get in the way, but we'll really be rooting for them.
Are there going to be any kind of crossovers between the two shows now that they're on the same night?
I know. Okay, here's the thing. I was telling these guys, I want a crossover. I got all the ideas. I got it. It's already written. It's not that easy. It's just logistically, it's boring to talk about, but it's just hard to make it work.
Yeah.
But maybe. I mean, I'm totally open to it. Mike Narducci would throw me down and like it'd be like, just don't stop confusing the show. You know, and tonally, I guess I don't know if the show's meshed tonally, but maybe.
Well, because like in a lot of fans, and me too, it's like there's been no mention of Mystic Falls, just even in the dialogue with the original.
At least we mentioned them.
Well, yeah, you know, at least you guys are. You know what I mean? Like it would be cool, like if in the original, even if they would just say, because that's where they came from. So there hasn't been that synergy.
Pass that note to Mike Narducci.
Yeah, I mean,
his office is right by mine.
Right, so that's.
It's like we never existed.
Right, exactly, and so that's sort of like I think where we're all.
Yeah, that's actually a very good way of having like a crossover without a crossover too.
Yeah.
Just bringing it up. You're right.
Yeah.
What are your favorite TV shows right now?
I love Orange is the New Black.
Isn't it good?
I mean, it's been on for a while, but The Fall, Fargo, House of Cards, Orphan Black. It's so good. Game of Thrones, Ozzy. But, those are the main guys.
Are we going to get more Bonnie and Caroline best friend stuff going on?
Yeah, you know, I noticed one of our writers threw in a scene. He was writing episode 4, and I was like, okay, the scene doesn't move the story forward. Do you know how to write an episode? And he's like, I know, but we haven't had any best friend thing. I was like, oh yeah. So it was funny. So like he wrote it, and then like Julie read it, and she like added a little thing where like they crawl into bed next to each other like besties. I was like, oh, that's cute. I was like, yeah, we do kind of need that energy in the show.
Right. Oh, that'd be so cute.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that reminds you of like the season 1 dynamic.
What about Matt? Will he ever get a happy, normal life?
Yeah.
Well, as you saw in the finale, like Mystic Falls is not looking good. Matt he's driving around that patrol truck, and so he feels the real responsibility of protecting people. But he's finally just embraced it. I'm pro-human. I'm going to stand up for them. I know I am at a disadvantage. I don't care. So we are going to build, assuming that it all kind of works out. We haven't actually written it yet, but like a stronger love story for him.
Good.
And just like he deserves it. Like he's been through so much. So
totally. Well,